Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're starting this one off different today. AJ's in the background laughing because of the fact he says I always start all my videos the exact same way. All right, guys. So they get me a shirt made that says, all right, guys. So our new logos will probably be Davis Drives YouTube channel. All right, guys. But anyway, transportation is our theme for today. And I already had this video planned because we've had a terrible week with transporters not showing up, not doing what they're supposed to do. And none of it is our fault, but the customer in a lot of cases looks to us because we're responsible in sorts for getting it done for them. So the last vehicle getting ready to transport out is a beautiful F-250. It's the last one we have this week so far. If somebody buys something tomorrow, we'll go help them with transportation. But it's the last thing so far that we have left to transport. And this transporter has been great, communicating, letting us know, because it's a tight timeline to get this to the customer because they have something special planned for it. So we're having to make sure it goes out on time. And it will, and it's going to work out okay. But on top of that, we've had some odd vehicles this week. We had a 6-door Super Duty dually that was lifted. We had a rollback. We had some high-end Chrysler cars. We've had a mixed bag of a little bit of everything. But transportation has become a problem. And the other reason for the video, in an early video today, is every day, just about, we get a newsletter or we get something, whether it be on email, newsletter mailed, something that comes in on a copier about transportation, fraud, and auto theft. And it's a huge, rampant thing, obviously. It happens every day. One of my personal buyers purchased a very high-end exotic, and it was in Florida. He was on a trip, so he said, hey, I would normally do the transport. Can you guys just put it on the transport network? Yep, they did. Lo and behold, somehow it got intercepted. And thankfully, the dealer selling it reached out and said, hey, your transporter that you've set up with is coming a little early. Just want to make sure I know you're on a trip. He said, I didn't set up a transporter. What are you talking about? You guys are shipping it to me. Somehow, the system got hacked. Another transporter got in the middle. And this whole story we'll do a video about because it's eerie. It is spooky eerie how bad this could have gone and how it did go wrong for another person on the same day. And so we'll have a whole podcast with him on that because he can explain it better. I don't want to get off on that whole rant. When somebody buys a car from us, they instill in us, in most cases, the transport, whether you be in Texas, New Mexico, Florida, Tennessee, wherever it is. We have good success because we've been doing it a long time. We know to look through it. But Christian also brought up his concerns this morning because we actually pay for a service to get this done. And we have a lot of transporters. So people say, you've got a good transporter. Why don't you just use your own guy? Well, let's reel that back a little bit. If he had to go to one of these vehicles is going to Washington State, it's 20-some hundred miles. Truck cost, fuel cost, insurance cost, his salary, and then he's got to come back. So if I don't have something coming back from the West Coast to the East Coast, he's coming back empty. Whereas when we broker things on a transport network, they got loads all around. So we can get done for a fraction of the cost. The vehicle going to Washington is getting done for about $3,000 per the mile trip charge that it would have normally cost for a vehicle of this size, because it was a big 6-door dually lifted truck. It would have been almost $9,000. If I figured the cost to have my guy do it with fuel and everything, it still would have been $6,000 or $7,000. Not to mention, I wouldn't have had him available to do local stuff. So there's no perfect world. Kristen's like, what can we do? Unfortunately, there's not much that can be done. There are risks involved. We're dealing with some stuff with our computers right now. We're updating things. We're updating firewalls. We're updating security because people can hack things these days, and it happens. We're adding extra cameras. There's a lot of thieves out there. There's a lot of people. But go back to that truck going to Washington. 5 different cancellations. 2 just didn't show up. Never showed up. Never called, never did anything. Canceled the load. So we're here waiting on a Sunday night or a Monday morning super early. They never show up. One of them showed up, wouldn't fit on his trailer. The measurements were in the dispatch. Wouldn't fit. He was okay. You know, it would suck for him because he came out of his way to get it. The next one that showed up, we pulled up behind the truck and trailer, got everything straight, signed the paperwork, looked back out a couple minutes later, he's gone. He just left. Didn't say a word. So we called the company and they're like, oh yeah, he couldn't do it. You know, it would take up too much space on his trailer. The measurements were on the dispatch. They were all in there. So lo and behold, yesterday afternoon, 2 days later than what it needed to be leaving here, the truck left. The guy is perfectly fine. We helped him put it on the trailer. AJ personally got on there and maneuvered it around and made sure it fit right and helped him strap it down. We'll do anything we can on our end to help customers out. But the receiving customer, obviously, he has a trip planned. He needs the truck. He wanted it by the weekend. He's a little frustrated, but you know, we did all we could do. As far as normal vehicles, sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's not. Sometimes if there's multiple vehicles going to the same location, it's easier. Sometimes it's not. Transportation is a big problem. So the main reason for this video is if you're transporting something, be extremely cautious. If you're going through a network, make sure that network is secure. Brokers, what's a broker? So Kristen's like, you know, we got people that call all the time that seem really nice and they say, hey, we'll transport things for you. They might have 4 or 5 trucks. They can't handle everything. They don't happen to have a truck going to California when we need them. They don't happen to have a truck going to Florida when we need them. Maybe every now and then, 1% of the time they might. But they in turn broker it, so then there's a person in the middle. So now there's a whole nother chance of a problem. If they don't do their job and the person doing the job, and we have no communication with the end person, then it's even worse. We do our best to get driver's license, bill of ladings, license plate numbers, anything that we can. You know, we can zoom in on tags on our, you know, whatever. You know, we try to keep people loading over there. You saw a video while I'm doing it. Right here is no parking. Right there is no parking. Every 6 months to a year, I have those lines repainted that say no parking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Almost 20 times it says no parking. If we had the stuff going out, like the other day, I think we had 7 things leave here. Everyone parked right there and blocked everything. Before I owned across the street there, that was an old man that was kind of grumpy, and the transporters coming to me would always park over there, and he'd get mad. And I'm like, that's not my property, come over here. And we'd put them on the side road, we'd put them over there, we'd do everything to accommodate it. Finally, we got on a good page with him and actually paid him a few dollars, gave him some gift cards, just for the convenience of using it. They weren't there but 15, 20 minutes. Nobody ever pulls over there anymore. They always pull over here, always, and park in that spot. I'm like, please, we even put in the dispatch and we even text them, park across the street, gravel parking lot, that's ours. They still park right here. Can't control other people. So that's just a little rant there. But the transportation problems are really, truly an issue. My transport personal guy, amazing. Like the nicest guy in the world, knows his stuff, been towing for his whole life, 30 years probably. Has, knock on wood, never had an incident. He's had some people, you know, knock a mirror off, hit a mirror or something, you know, not his fault on our tow vehicles. But again, for me to employ him, keep the machinery going, insure the machinery, tag and license the machinery, it's expensive. You know, it adds up very quickly. And fuel's expensive. So we try our best to do it all. My best advice is to make sure that you are dealing directly with the transporter and not a broker. Also, double check through the network who you're dealing with. Make sure the phone number on there matches the phone number you're talking to. Because again, you don't think so. They can intercept what's going on in your computer. And that's what happened with our buyer's car. And they intercepted it. They knew it was supposed to leave at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, so they were picking it up on 6 o'clock on a Monday. They also want to confuse you with after hours and early hours, which we accommodate. Mike has been here before at 1 a.m. in the morning to meet a transporter. He's been here, I've been here 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. multiple times. I've been in at 6 a.m. multiple times, as well as Mike has, to meet customers, transporters. But they want to confuse you with after hours, because then you don't have your staff. You're not on your A game. Maybe you're not paying attention that it's not XYZ transport company. The truck says YOB transport company or whatever it may be. They want to catch you when you're at your most vulnerable time. Now, in our cases, it's because the truck had a breakdown, or we're trying to meet a real tight timeline, or we're just trying to accommodate people like we do every day. Shouldn't have to make videos like this. We should be able to make videos about cool trucks and trucks for sale and projects in the shop and square bodies, but we do have to make videos like this because it's a real thing. People are losing their cars. You can go on YouTube and just put in auto theft, transportation theft, happening all the time. People are losing their vehicles. 2 or 3 Lamborghinis in 1 week. I saw a video about that. So much stuff happens. They do target the high-end cars, of course, but hey, if they could get any vehicle for free and steal it, it's better than nothing. So it's boys love their Jake brakes. That's it, guys. We're on to some fun stuff today. We got some good videos to bring you, but transportation, it's a hard thing. Between what I put into it, Christian puts into it, Mike puts into it, my mom puts into it, my guys across the road helping accommodate the transporters, it's like a full-time job for the things that we transport out of here. Some days nothing leaves. Some days 1 leaves. The other day 7 things left. But you know, it's what we have to do. You're not going to want to fly in from these places and pick your car up, which we would love for you to do. That way you can come in and get some merch and see the facilities and meet everybody. But chances are you're not going to take the time to do that. So we got to work through this, and we got to do our best to do it, as we always try to do. So thanks, guys. That's your transportation update. That's your transportation nightmares for today.